again, and welcome to Physics Calculation Center. Today, we'll be looking at the second equation of motion. If you remember, the last time we met, we saw first equation of motion. To remind you, we are still under uniform acceleration. And when you're calculating uniform acceleration or uniform velocity, you need the equations of motion. So today we'll be looking at the second equation of motion. The second equation of motion. And the second equation of motion states that S equals ut plus half at squared. S equals ut plus half at squared. Okay, I would want to explain these parameters for better understanding. S in this case stands for distance. U stands for velocity. T stands for time. And A can either be positive acceleration or negative acceleration. And this is time. This is the second equation of motion. Anytime you are given uniform questions, uniform acceleration, uniform speed, uniform velocity, you need to know the equations of motion. Now today we'll be looking at second equation of motion. Beautiful. Now, this is the second equation of motion. I'll quickly write the third one, the third equation of motion. The third equation of motion. The third equation of motion. It says v squared equals u squared plus 2as. Now, this is the final velocity. This is the initial velocity. And as you know, this is either positive or negative acceleration, because acceleration can either be positive or negative. And this is distance. And this is distance. This would make your calculation very easy. I will make life very easy for you if you understand the basics of second equation, third equation, and the one we learned last, first equation. Okay, so let me remind you again of the three equations. The three equations. Let me remind you of the three equations. The three equations. For clarity's sake. The three equations, number one, V equals U plus AT. Number two, S equals UT plus half AT squared. Number three, V squared equals U squared plus 2AS. Okay, so those are the formulas that would help you when you're calculating the equation of motion. Beautiful. But I want you to always remember this. I'll just put it somewhere here so that you always remember it. I'll say always remember, always remember, always remember. Okay, always remember that when an object moves or accelerates from rest, when an object moves from rest, the initial velocity is 0. Number two, when an object or a body comes to rest, when an object comes to rest, the final velocity is 0. Number three, when the velocity of a body, when the velocity of a body is constant, the acceleration is 0. So I believe this is going to help you understand the nitty-gritty of the laws properly. In our next video, we'll be showing ourselves how to use how to work more on these formulas. I'll see you then. Thank you.